Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone had a fantastic holiday and I wish you all the best in the year 2021. And today I'm going to show you how to make the following earring. It's a beaded earring with fringes. These are the fringes. So I have my usual stuff. I have my seed beads, I have my thread, I have my scissors, I have my ear wire or ear knob, and I have my needle, and I have already installed my thread. So from here you're going to collect 4 red seed beads. I have 4 red seed beads. Pull them down, and then at the end you're going to have tied a knot, a big knot. So after putting in 4 seed beads, we are going to go through the first 2. From where the knot is, we are going to go through the first 2 red seed beads. Then we are going to go through all 4 seed beads so that you can reinforce them, make them tight. And then we stop at this particular pair of seed beads. From here you're going to collect 2 red seed beads. So from where we have exited from, we go in through the opposite direction. Then the very same pair that you have added, you're going to exit through it. Then from here collect another 2 red seed beads. Then from your exit you go in through the opposite direction. And then you exit through that pair that you have added. Continue collecting 2 more red seed beads. From the exit you go in through the opposite direction. And then you exit through that very same bead that you have added. collect another 2, or we add another set from our exit, go in through from the opposite direction, and then exit through the pair that you have just added. Collect another 2 from your exit, go in through from the opposite direction, from here then we make an exit through that pair of bead that you have added. Collect another 2 from where you exited from, go in to the opposite direction, add it. So we are needed at least 11 pairs. We add one more pair of red seed beads. Then from the opposite direction, from where you have exited from, you go in through from the opposite direction, and then you exit through that pair which you have just added. So far, this is what we have. Then from here, we're going to collect 2 black seed beads. So you're going to skip the first pair, you go to the second and third. So this thread that joins the second and third, you pass your needle under it, then from there you go through the second bead of the 2 that you have added, collect 1 more black. The next 2 beads that follow, there's a thread that joins them, then you pass your needle under it, and you go through the very same bead that you have just added. Make sure your needle is pointing towards where you're seated. Add another 1 black bead, then in between the next 2 beads that follow, this thread that joins them, so you pass your needle under it, and then go through that very same bead that you've added, and your needle pointing where you're seated. Select another black bead in between the next 2 beads that follow, thread that joins the 2, and make sure you go through that very same bead which you just added. Collect another black bead in between the next 2 beads that follow, there's a thread that joins, and pass your needle under it. Then you go through the very same bead that you have added. So we continue. From here, we're going to pick 2 reds. Then you skip the first row, you go to the second and third. The thread that joins the second and third, pass the needle under it. Then go through one of the 2 beads that you have added. Select another red in between the next 2 beads, the thread that joins them. Select another red in between the next 2 beads that follow. Select another red in between the next 2 beads that follow, the thread that joins them. Pass your needle under it. Go through the very same bead you have just added. Select another red in between the next 2 beads that follow, the thread that joins the 2. Pass your needle under it. Go through the very same bead that you have added, your needle pointing where you seated. Another red in between the next 2 beads that follow, this thread that joins them. Pass your needle under it. Another red in between the next 2 beads that follow. Another 1 bead in between the next 2 beads that follow, thread that joins them. Then you go through the very same bead that you just added. Then from here, you're going to add white. So you pick 2 white colored seed beads. Then you skip the first bead, go to the second and third. In between the second and third, this thread that joins them, pass your needle under it. Then after adding, you're going to go through one of the 2 that you have added. Select 1 more white in between the next 2 beads that follow. Another white, go through in between the 2 beads that follow, and make sure you go through that same bead that you added, and make sure your needle is pointing where you're seated. Select another white in between the next 2 beads that follow, pass your needle under it. And so from here we add a black, so we collect 2 black seed beads. You skip the first row, go to the second and third. In between the second and third, pass your needle under that thread that joins the two. Another one bead in between the next two beads that follow. Pass your needle under it and go through that very same bead that you just added. Another black in between the next two beads that follow. The thread that joins the two, and make sure you go through that very same bead you have added. Collect another black bead in between the next two beads that follow. Is a thread that joins the two. Pass through it or under it, and you go through the very same bead that you have added, your needle pointing where you're seated. From black, you go to red, collect two reds, then skip the first row, you go to second and third. The thread that joins the second and third, your needle should pass under it. Then you go through the second bead of the two that you have just added. Collect another red in between the next two follow, and you go through the bead you have added. Collect another red in between the next two beads that follow. Pass your needle under the thread that joins them. Go through the very same bead added, and your needle pointing where you're seated. From adding red, we're going to add white. Collect two. If you have noticed, as we begin adding a different color, we start with two seed beads, and then we continue with one to the end. So collect another white, go through in between the thread that joins the two beads that follow, and make sure you go through the very same bead that you have just added. Select another one white, go to the next two beads that follow, collect another one bead, go through in between the next two beads that follow. There's a thread that joins the two, so you pass your needle under it, and then you go through the very same bead you've added, and your needle should point where you're seated. So as you turn, you begin with two seed beads. So from here we are going to collect black. So you have 2 black seed beads. Skip the first one, go through to the second and third, this thread that joins the second and third, collect another one black seed bead in between the next 2 that follow. There's a thread that joins the 2, you pass under it, and you go through the very same bead you have just added. Another black seed bead, and in between the 2 that follow, pass your needle under it, and you go through the very same bead which you have just added. From here you're going to collect red, so you begin with 2 reds, skip the first one, go to the second and third, this thread that joins the 2, pass your needle under it, and go through the second bead of the 2 that you've added. From here collect another one red, sorry, in between the next 2 that follow, pass your needle under it, and from here you go through the very same bead that you have just added, the needle pointing where you're seated, and make a nice pull. So far of this, adding or inserting our ear knob. So we're going to collect 4 white seed beads. Once you have 4 white seed beads, let's just confirm on the other one. Yep, have 4. You pick your ear knob, and then you go through the circular part. You go in through the circular part of the ear knob and make a pull. Then you go through it twice. Okay. Then from this point, we add another 4 white seed beads, and then you go through to the other end. Make a pull. And then have your ear knob. So from here, so after inserting our ear knob, my needle won't pass through these seed beads all the way down. So what I do, I stop here. So this is where I am going to end my needle. So at the bead where you are, you're going to go through that thread that joins the top and the bottom bead. You can see there's a thread in between the red and the white bead. So you pass your needle under it, and then you're going to twist your needle round your thread round your needle twice. By doing this, you're creating a knot, a safety knot. and then make a pull gently so that your thread won't overlap. And from here, we cut off a thread. So, because this thread won't be enough to add the fringes, we're going to insert another one. So from here, we want to go to where we started off. So we find a way to get there. So after finding our way down to where we had started, we're going to cut off this part of the thread. So from here we start adding our fringes, and we're going to collect 8 white seed beads. Eight white seed beads, then 1 red, 1 black, 1 white, 1 red, 1 black, 1 white, then 1 red, 1 black, 1 black, 1 white. Let me just confirm how many pairs are those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 3. Then 1 red, 1 red, 1 black, 1 white, 1 red, 1 black, 1 white. After adding 5 pairs, we're going to add 3 black seed beads, then from here I'm going to skip 3 seed beads, go through the next that follow all the way up. So by skipping the 3 at the end, it's going to form a flower shape at the end. Then from here we're going to go to the next. We're going to go up, do the first and second white. I hope it goes through. From here you can go through to the next reds that follow. From here we're going to collect. We started with 8 white seed beads. Now we're going to collect 10. So after adding 10 white seed beads, after adding 10 white seed beads and 5 pairs of red, black, white, red, black, white, and 3 red at the end, skip the 3 that is at the end, and you go through the next seed beads all the way up. You can see by skipping the 3 beads, they have formed a flower shape at the end. When you're at the top of the fringe, you go through 2 more beads, so from this point my thread is bringing me treble. You can cut off the one that you started with, the one that you tied a knot. Okay. Then go to the next set downwards, and after 10 you go with 12 white seed beads, have 12, and then we have red, white, black, first set, red, white, black, second set, red, white, black, the third set, red, white, black, the fourth set, red, white, and black. So let me just confirm this. There's a mistake. Should be red, black, then white. Red, black, white, red, black, white, red, black, white. Those are 3 sets. Then red, black, white, 4th set. Then red, black, and white. And then at the very end you add 3 black seed beads. So you skip the first 3 black seed beads, you go all the way up. So the trick here is from the starting point it increases, then it gets in the middle, it starts decreasing. So the only bead that we are increasing and decreasing is the white color. Okay, so we increase the white color, then at the very middle, when you get to the middle, you start decreasing the white color. So we started with 8 seed beads, then white seed beads, then the next fringe has 10, the next has 12, 14, 16, and 18. 18 is at the middle. So from here we start decreasing. From 18 we are going to add 16 white seed beads. Okay, we have 16. Let me just confirm that. Then from there we do red, black, white, red, black, white, red, black, black, white, red, black, white. So these should be 5. These are, let me call them sets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we add one more. We have red, black. Then I pull my plate closer. It's a bit messed up because I have used these seed beads before and I'm very lazy to have them all in one color. We have red, black, can have black here, and white. Then at the end we take in 3 black seed beads. Then at the end we skip the first 3 seed beads and we go through all the other seed beads. After adding 12 seed beads, start collecting the 3 sets. We start with red, black, white, red, black, white, red, black, white, red, red, black, white. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then red, black, white. Then at the very end we add 3 black seed beads. Skip the first 3 or the last 3. You go through the next seed beads that follow. Then when you are at the top, make sure you go through the first 2 seed beads that are above the fringe, and then you go through to the next 2 seed beads and turn this round. Go through the next 2. This thread will be enough. Then I hope this thread will be enough. So after 12 we add 10 white seed beads. 5, 10. Then start picking red, black, white, red, black, white, red, black, white, red, black, white, red, black, white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then at the end you add 3 black beads. Then at the end you skip the first 3 seed beads, go through the next beads all the way up. And because our thread is so short, it won't complete the last fringe, so we find a place, we escape it somewhere inside the earring, So I think we'll stop here. We're going to create a small knot just in between the thread that joins these two seed beads. Then you move your move your thread in a circular motion around your needle and make a pull. Then cut this. We're almost done. We needed one more fringe. Then we finish. We add another thread. So inserting a thread, you can start off here. I feel like we need to go through these parts of our ear knob so that we can reinforce it. It looks so loose. So before you pull everything to the end, you have to tie a knot at the end of our string or our thread. A knot that will fit in the seed bead that you're going to go through. So then we pull, make sure it fits in. Then you continue. We want to reinforce this knob area because it looks so loose to me. Then we go through the circular part of the ear knob. We go through it twice, once and twice. Okay. Then from here we go through the other part of the white seed beads. Yeah, now it looks tight. It's not loose anymore. And then you go through all the way down so that you can you go through all the way down so that you can complete the last fringe. Okay. So we collect 8 white seed beads. From 8 seed beads, then we start collecting 1 red, 1 black, 1 white, Oh, and that's a blue, that's not a black. That's the first set. Then one red, one black, and one white. That's the second set. One red, one black, and one white. That's the third set. One red, one black, and one white. That's the fourth set. And then one red, one black, and one white. That's the 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me confirm how many sets we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then at the end, we're going to add 3 black seed beads. We have 3 black seed beads. So pull them all the way down. Then we're going to skip the first 3 and you go through all the beads that follow. So we are done. So we look for our escape. So we can choose to end here. Now that we are sure that our fringe is secured, it won't get loose or come off. So from where you are with your thread, you go under the thread that joins the 2 seed beads. Then you pass your needle, or you go round your needle in a circular motion twice or thrice. By doing this, you're creating a knot, and you make a pull. Then you cut this off. And you cut this other one. And there we go. Our earring, our multicolored earring using seed beads. Thanks for watching, guys.